Hey, this is Turk72. Guess what today's topic is? I want to talk to you a little bit about Ebola and about how it's different and some other infectious diseases. So, a lot of people may be poo-pooing this Ebola thing, and, millions of people die from AIDS and TB in Africa, but let's look at some recent observations, and I want to tell you why I think Ebola is a little bit different here. So, first of all, AIDS and TB are well-established diseases in Africa, so it's really apples and oranges. There are lots of things about Ebola that make it much more transmissible than AIDS and TB combined. So, sorry, my camera's having trouble focusing today. So, there's this thing came out recently about the incubation period. Is it 21 days? Is it 40 days? Is it more? That makes it difficult. Secondly, Ebola, it appears that any bodily fluid it can be transmitted through. With AIDS, that's not the case, and with TB, that's not the case. Now, there has been outbreaks of TB in prisons, and there's been small outbreaks in schools. But this Ebola virus seems to be, at least this recent manifestation, seems to be a casual contact virus. So, definitely AIDS and TB are not exactly casual contact diseases. So, also apparently you can catch Ebola from deceased, dead people. And there have been cases in Africa where a pig or another animal would dig up a dead body, and then it's able to transmit the disease further from there. So, and that's a period of 21 days or more. So it seems clear that this disease is orders of magnitude more transmissible, than AIDS and TB combined. It's just a completely different beast. And so, of course, a lot of you know that the infamous Mr. Duncan, he passed away. And what's interesting is they apparently were power washing his vomit in the apartment complex, and that will create aerosols that other people can get. And I watched that video of people walking around the apartment complex. None of them had masks on. And again, the recent nurse that contracted this disease, apparently she had protective equipment on. Now, I don't know if she had a face shield or a mask like this. Now, this isn't your garden variety mask. This is a respirator quality mask. And I'm wearing this to illustrate a point. How do you know you have a respirator quality mask on like this N95 mask? Well, this thing sucks, okay? Doing this video, if you think you're not claustrophobic before, just try wearing this thing for a half hour. It's difficult to talk. Your airway is constricted. Just try talking, doing some dishes or some gardening for a half hour. You're gonna pretty much, you're gonna had it with this thing. So, again, if there's a real Ebola outbreak, it's going to be hard to protect yourself. if you can wear this thing all day, you're a lot stronger person than I am. I'll tell you that. So, again, it's difficult, and there's only a few isolation rooms for each hospital. We may have the best nurses and doctors in the world, but we only have so many isolation rooms, and it's hard to observe all of these isolation precautions. It's very difficult. So we can only hope that the outbreak in the United States is going to be fairly contained. Yeah, this thing is driving me nuts already. So that's, we can only hope. It's going to be very easy to overload the system. If, again, this thing's sliding down on me already, just when I'm talking, you know. So these things are, you know, problematic, to say the least. So, like I said, it's very easy for the system to be overloaded, and then what? You know, Obama has his signed his thing into law about respiratory illnesses and quarantining people for that. So, and as we found out with Hurricane Katrina, the government has about as much resources to help you with food and water as shelter as your local corner convenience store. Again, the purpose of government is mainly to feed the belly of the beast. And if you get anything out of it, it will be scraps. That's what I have to say about Ebola. Again, as so far in Africa, has about a 70% mortality rate. You know, blood. Again, it's a hemorrhagic disease. So blood, when it goes where it's not supposed to go, it destroys everything. So it can destroy your organs, your eyes, your muscle. Probably not bone. That's probably the only thing that's, you know, could possibly be safe. Unless it gets inside your bone. But again, even if you survive Ebola, you're gonna probably have things to deal with like kidney disease and you know, your lungs may be all ripped up. So it's even if you survive it, don't expect it to be a walk in the park afterwards. So those are my thoughts on Ebola and how it's different. We'll kind of see how things develop from here with these cases. Also wanted to point out that this Dr. Brantley guy, he is sending people his blood, and I want to explain to you why that could possibly be dangerous. So yes, Dr. Brantley may have antibodies in his blood that can help other people fight off the disease, but that does not mean that Dr. Brantley is free of Ebola. If you've had chickenpox before, it doesn't mean you are cured of it. You are immune to it. So that's a big difference. If you're immune to it, it means it just doesn't affect you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have the virus. Let's take a look at Magic Johnson. We can't assume that he's free of the HIV virus. It's just because of his particular immune system or genetics and the drugs that he is taking, it's most likely the virus is just not affecting him. So you can see how it could be problematic if you try and make a serum out of Magic Johnson's blood and then give it to people and expect him to be cured. You need to be sure that he is free of the AIDS virus and of the HIV virus, and how do you really, do that? So, that's why this Dr. Brantley transmitting his blood to other people could be a dangerous endeavor. That can show the possible dangers of vaccine science and making assumptions. So, that's what I have. Thanks for sticking with me. I can't handle this thing anymore. So, this is Turk 72 out.